The sensationalizing of Patton's eccentricities resulted from typical Hollywood indulgence in dramatic license to achieve heightened effects. The result today is that it is hard to tell Patton the myth from Patton the man. The story told here is that of Patton the man. It does not neglect his serious shortcomings, but the emphasis is on his considerable virtues, not least his indisputable magnificence as a battlefield commander, master tactician, virtuoso trainer of troops, inspirational leader, and prescient expert on and practitioner of modern mobile armored warfare. By the time the movie was made, Patton was already a famous general. His exploits were well publicized during his career. So, too, were his monumental political gaffes. As a larger-than-life character, Patton had virtues and faults that were both outsized. His mood swings were wide and prompted by deep fissures in his psyche. His demons were many and hideous, and their ability to disfigure him was large. Impulse control was a lifelong issue for him, as it is for many overly intense, impassioned people. He demanded a total commitment to excellence from himself, and demanded this same commitment from everyone under his command. Upon the movie's release in Great Britain, its full title was Patton, Lust for Glory. This subtitle implies that Patton was driven solely by egomania. That is patently untrue. The movie's negative emphasis on Patton's failings resulted from General Omar Bradley's ill will toward him. Bradley resented Patton on several counts, just as he resented British Field Marshal Bernard Law Montgomery. During World War II, Patton and Montgomery achieved spectacular victories, whereas Bradley never did. The former were vainglorious professional soldiers who reveled in recognition of their accomplishments. They loved every aspect of military life and affected flamboyance in sculpting their public images. Patton favored riding boots, jodhpurs, and a shiny silver helmet. Monty embraced a stylized beret set at a rakish angle, sweaters with leather shoulders, and a swagger stick under his armpit. Bradley, in contrast, was a self-effacing journeyman who wore standard-issue uniforms and reveled in his democratic touch, earning the nickname the GI General. What hurt his image even more was having only one triumph, the breakout in Normandy in Operation Cobra. The success of Operation Cobra, however, resulted from Patton's, not Bradley's, daring aggression. Together with German Field Marshal Erwin Rommel, Patton and Montgomery formed a trinity of celebrated generals who fought aggressively with cutting-edge equipment and techniques in the European theater during World War II. Unlike them, Bradley was considered an administrator whose total grounding in infantry tactics precluded the innovative use of mobile armored warfare that distinguished the victories of Patton, Montgomery, and Rommel. Bradley was old school, stodgy, and slow. They were cutting-edge, daring, and speedy. Bradley was inclined to stalemated standoffs. They favored quicksilver flanking, pincer and enveloping checkmates. The posthumous publication of Patton's memoir, War as I Knew It, made matters worse between Patton and Bradley. The book was based on Patton's private journals, letters, and diaries kept during the war. In them he was critical of Bradley and of Eisenhower. Both of these generals outranked Patton when they saved his career after the various political crises resulting from Patton's impulsive and indiscreet actions or statements. This was especially true after the infamous incidents when Patton twice slapped battle-fatigued soldiers in Sicily in 1943. Such cruel and inappropriate behavior so outraged public opinion at home that an outcry arose in Congress to have Patton removed from command and returned home in disgrace. To Bradley, Patton's memoir made Patton seem like the ultimate ingrate. In fact, he was not. He was simply a harsh taskmaster in all things military. He found Bradley wanting as a battlefield commander, strategist, and tactician, and because of Patton's integrity, he simply said so in his private writings. It was his widow, Beatrice, and not Patton, who approved public